Today on Chaos Builds is shop door time. So we're going to put the overhead doors in on the shop. As you see, they're not installed. I was started to do it, and then I was like, you know what? I better stop and film an intro real quick for you guys. So we have the shop doors. We got them from Menards. You guys already seen that episode. Kind of got material just laid out everywhere. So these two openings, hopefully by the end of this episode, they are no longer. So I already found an issue with some of the hardware. The spring rods, these are the spring rods. I'm supposed to have two of these long ones and two short ones. I got three short ones and one long one. So I'm gonna have to contact Menards and get one of those. Hopefully they can send it to me because I don't want to drive back up there unless I have to. So either way, we got that going on. So let's get to it.
Cue the montage.
Cue the montage.
Get you some of that.
All right, we're gonna start on the this side first. So I already kind of have a general idea where this has to go. It's about 7/8 of an inch off the middle of those two. Right about right in there. So get this to sit up here. I'm not a garage door guy. I know nothing about garage doors. So we're just gonna wing it. It's pretty self-explanatory. Okay, you have a left rail and a right rail. This end's the top, so it tells me it's the right rail. Just like so. All right, so now the question is, how do I install these things? All right, guys, so I started looking through the instructions, and I found where it talks about installing the track. So the edge of the track here needs to be a 1/2 inch from the edge of this door, right here. So 1/2 inch. I've got the laser here. It's right on the edge of this door. So I'm gonna go 9/16 because I'm about a 1/16 off on the laser. But now I can move this panel out of the way. I can set this where it needs to be, and then I can go on the other side and set it where it needs to be. I'm gonna space this up off this floor just a little bit, like so. Okay, all right. So we're looking for the laser. Okay, get you over here on this side of it. All right, so there's a laser. This is the edge of the door on this laser right here. So what we want to do is we want a 1/2 inch from that line. So we'll be about right there. Okay, so we got a Sharpie, and then we got a center punch tool. This Sharpie is brought to you by Prestige Motorsports from Edmond, Oklahoma. Get all your hot rod needs from Prestige Motorsports. I don't know where in the hell that voice came from, but that was funny. So we got our 1/2 inch spacing roughly. That laser hits right at 1/2 inch. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna mark roughly where we need to be at. Okay, and then we're just gonna go through here. Mark all this. All right, and what we're doing is this is a center punch. It's a spring-loaded center punch. It's kind of nice. It instead of having to have a hammer, it does all the hammering for you. Okay, cool. Man, that was nice. Didn't take much at all. There's really no good way to shoot this, guys. I feel like I'm in your way of seeing what's going on, but at the same time, I don't know what to do with my hands, or my body in this case. So we're there. I'm wondering if that line is exactly where that laser line is, if that's where we need to be at, or if we got to be over from that. I never really did look. There they are, top to bottom. So we do have a little bit of left to right movement for adjustment. So the rails are in. So now we can set this bottom panel in place. Bottom panel's in. Now I have to figure out how to do the bottom hardware. Here's all the hardware laid out. As you can see, it's not a whole lot, but it's a little bit. So we're gonna we read through the instructions. First thing we gotta do is grab these two, which are our very bottom brackets. They hold the tensioning cable and the first set of rollers. So we're gonna grab those and then come over here to the door and put them on. Okay, so these are our left and our right. This is our left. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna feed this cable on here, just like so. Do that on both of them. All right, this says right, so that go our right side. Go ahead and install our rollers, just like that, okay? And these are gonna go here. 4 of these little red-headed screws is what it says. That's what it shows. I'm probably gonna do it wrong, but okay. Okay, just like that. Now we gotta go to the other side and do it. Okay, so that, roll this one in. Okay, like so. Cool. All right. First panel is complete, guys. Look at that. It's probably not in there right, but it's in there. So now we just gotta put the next panel on. Okay, so we got a dilemma here. We got a strut that we have to install, and they don't pre-drill it, so we have to drill it. All right, you guys, you see, we got the door up. It's not 100% finished yet, but it is up. So that's it right there. Full view panel, which is awesome. I don't know if you normally see those in like actual mechanic shops, to let all the natural light in. We only went with one. They are expensive to do. One's plenty for us. Here's what we got, guys. So, guys, we have one door. We are dried in on that side. Like I said, we still got to do all the springs, torsioning, and all that stuff. But it's not too bad. You just take your time, and it's honestly not a bad job to do. So we're golden. All right, y'all ready to see me struggle? I'm gonna try to install this entire upper rail by myself. My help left, so I don't think this is gonna be fun. Y'all didn't catch any of that, but so I got this top rail in. It was not fun. It's not fully installed yet, but it's up there, so that was not fun. All right, so we're back, new day, still on the door project, and we've got the door completely installed. You guys seen some time lapse of that and stuff, and all the hinges, all that are fully installed now. So what we have to work on is we have to work on the tensioning rod assembly that holds the springs that assist you to lift the door up. So that's what we're going to be working on. And like the rest of this project, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm still trying to figure it out. Man, my hair looks like crazy. So y'all don't see me without a hat very often, do you? So yeah, so that's what I'm working on. I'm looking through the instructions right now currently because, you know, I'm not a garage door installer. I'm not a garage door installer. I'm not a hot rod builder. I'm dang sure not a fabricator. Not a sheet metal guy. Not an engine builder. You know, at this point, I don't know what I am. But we're getting this door up, and it's going pretty good for a guy that don't know what he's doing. It is taking some time. I'm like 7 hours in on this deal, and but we're figuring it out now so that the next door goes a lot faster. So let's get up here and see what we can do. Well, that's gonna have to go like that. Unfortunately, it's missing the that top hole, so we'll have to go right here and drill a new hole to catch that. But oh well, it'll be all right. It'll be all right. It'll be all right. Okay, that'll hold that. Like I said, get some screws in this baby. It'll hold all that. Just like so. Pretty straight up and down to me. Perfect. All right, guys, so it's a new day, same project, and what y'all didn't see off camera was I finished the actual first door that we were working on. I needed to figure out how to put it together pretty much because I'd never done one before. And so I wasn't confident enough to show y'all what I was doing over there until I figured it out. So I've got the second door 80% up. So now we're gonna put the spring bars on. They're solid shafts, and then the springs actually slide over them and attach that way. So we're gonna do that. I've got the outside brackets attached already. They were part of, you know, the main frame. And then now we've got to do the center supports because this is a two-piece shaft system. And that's where we're gonna start today. So I've already got them marked out here. I'm leaving a foot in between the two shafts. They have a coupler that locks the two together. And I'm leaving, it says in the instructions minimum of 6 inches, so I left a foot. And I think it said no more than a foot, no less than 6 inches. So I just went a foot. So either way, that's where we're starting at. So I'm gonna grab the brackets, grab the screws, and whatever else tools we need. We'll get to it. These are the center support brackets, and they install like this, long side protruding forward, or top side. There's a left and a right. They will go like this. And up here, like I said, I already got them marked out. So we're just gonna go ahead, set it up here, mark the holes, then drill and install. Okay, so we got those started, and now we're going to start assembling the solid shafts with the springs and the actual cable guides, I'm gonna call them. I don't know what they're actually called, but they're what the cable wraps around on the outsides of the doors as it's going up. So, all right, so we have it all laid out here. This is what we got. These are the solid shafts here. These are obviously the springs. Those are the cable spools for the outsides that actually pick the door up. So what I'm doing is assembling it all down here, carrying it up there, and then putting it up. I don't think it really matters, just how I'm doing it. The springs are color coded. This one is black. It's right here on the actual winding part. And this one is red, indicated right here. So that tells you what side they go on. Red goes on the left side, black goes on the right side. And that's because they wind in a specific direction. You can't wind them, you can only wind them one way. So we'll take this, just slide it down the bar. And then big side goes to the outside, little goes on the inside. See if I can break something. This is the fun part. Alright. Just like that. Alright, there's a little bearing right here. It's a support bearing. It slides on the shaft. This job isn't hard. It's definitely I'm gonna say it's a 1.5 person job. I don't know where y'all are at, but here in Oklahoma, man, it's like 130 degrees. Okay, so we got this one leveled. You want to make sure you put a level on these, get them level. They don't have to be absolutely perfect, but you definitely want them pretty close. I'm gonna put this center coupler in, and it goes in between the two shafts. This is the coupler, so it goes here, and it goes, and these two slide together. Self-explanatory. So what we're going to do is we're going to mark this shaft to make sure it doesn't over engage. So, because if it slides too far in here and you put your keys in, then it locks them together, and you can't use, this is a split coupler, and it's designed to be used to make fine adjustments to the cables so that it lifts the door equally. So if it's too far apart, it won't. Or if one bar is too far into it, what happens is it locks it and it won't allow it to split and turn like it's supposed to. I'm pretty sure this bar is where it needs to be. I have to bring this bar in. So let's go ahead and slide this key where it goes. Okay. And then this bar needs to go in. Okay. All right, so those are good. We'll take and we'll just lock down where the keys are at. It's the only adjustment we need to do at this current moment. Now these shafts are completely locked in. I'll show you guys. So you see here, the keys are in. Now we're just running these jam nuts in. And that will lock the keys in place. It just puts pressure on the keys so that the keys do not come out, like so. And we just want to make sure those are good and tight. And those down. We'll tighten all that up here in a little bit. So what I learned off the first one is just snug these bolts. Don't worry about the jam nuts yet, because if you have something out of adjustment, it kind of sucks to have to deal with the jam nuts. All right, so the shafts are locked together now, and so what we'll do is we'll go down to the ends, we'll put the cables on, we'll hand wind those where they need to be at, and then once they get hand wound, we will lock each into place, put the keys in, tighten the jam nuts down, and then we'll be set to tighten the springs up. I got a little trick that I personally used when I started this. So I figured out that if you'll wind the cables, lock them in place, and then put tension on them with some vice grips and like prop it against like the header panel. So you clamp the vice grips on here and like have it where it presses against this. When you wind these, it make sure that the cables don't come unwound before you get tension put on them. So I don't know that that's the right way to do it. It's just the way that I did it. So same way, same as what we were talking about just a minute ago. There's a little slot right here, and you're going to take and wind these. So what I figured out is just take your little end here and put a little bend in it like that. So these are straight, put a little bend in it, because the way it has to wrap around this, they don't tend to want to wrap very well. See how tight that lays in there now? Before you put that bend in there, it won't do that. So all right, so that is that. All right, put the key in. Where to put that key? All right. All right, so back this out. Slide the key in. All right, then just lock this down. This job is just real tedious, so just take your time. Don't be in a rush. I'm real bad about rushing on jobs, so. And unfortunately, it sets me back sometimes. So we'll go on the other side, do the same thing. Like I said, take the vice grips, put tension on it, and then we'll start winding the springs. We still have a few other things before we can lift the door, but we'll wind the springs. So that's what y'all are here for, wind the springs, right? Put your little bend in there like that. Like so. Put the key in, just like last time. So I get both cables tight like this. And then you just clamp that down, okay? That just lets it not rotate back the other direction. So with the vice grips on here, this spool can't turn. So see, keeps quite a bit of tension on our cable. So you see how there's slack in this one? We didn't have that slack down there. So that's actually what this coupler is designed for. This coupler has these bolts in it, or 9/16. They're actually, all right. So these are actually metric, I think, but the 9/16 seems to work pretty well. So you know that slack we were talking about down there on the left side on the cable, and how this right side is tight. I don't know if y'all can see that or not right in there. Look at these adjusters here. So this adjuster is further back than this adjuster. So let's see. It's not a lot, but I think it's enough that it matters. So what we're going to do is we're going to take, and this is loose. See how that twists right there? Now look at our slack over there on that cable. That cable is right there. So we let that loose. See how that tightens that up? So we're just taking that amount right there. So it's not a lot, but it's enough. It obviously matters. So take this. I'm actually gonna swap these out real quick. I ain't got enough hands going on here. Okay. So we're gonna take this. We're gonna apply pressure. And then we're gonna tighten this bolt up. And when we tighten this bolt up, it'll lock our tension in place. And in theory, all right, so you see our cable right there? Our cable's right there, and see how it's tight now? So that adjustment fixed that. Our other one over here is still tight. It's right there. Don't know how well you can see that. It's a lot of silver over there. So that fixes our tension issue. So now what we can do is we can wind the actual springs. So that's what we'll do next. So today, it's obviously a new day. Got my Puddin' Fab shop. Mama didn't raise no punk shirt on with my Dent Syndicate. Shout out to my boy Chance. Does all my paint work, all that sort of stuff. PDR, located Poto, Oklahoma. We're going to wind the springs on the overhead door. This is where we've been trying to get to. Yesterday, I tried to get to it, and I was just end up finishing up some hardware install. Stuff that you don't want to see. I know you don't. It doesn't matter. So we're doing the springs. It's the very last thing we have to do on this door before we can use it. Winding this stuff is super dangerous. Make sure you use the proper tools. So pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. You put your rods in here and you just start spinning, okay? So you want to count your revolutions. It is pretty easy until you get to revolution. It requires 11.7 turns of this spring, and by turn 8 or 9, it gets pretty difficult. So make sure you eat your Wheaties that day because you're going to need it. Six, By 10, you're feeling it. I was feeling it like 7 or 8, but by 10, you're probably gonna need to take a break. So I just took and rested it against there with the bar in it. So all right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yep. So these lines are here to count. So you can count the revolutions that you have. So however many lines you have, that is how many revolutions you've done minus 1. So we have right at 12.7 turns on this, and so that means we have 11 because you subtract 1 from this number, and that gets you your revolutions. And once you have that, you just take it and tighten down your set screws. You want to make sure you have your set screws tightened before you try to pull out that rod, because if you try to pull that rod out and you don't, this thing will go flying and you're going to get hurt. Please, for the love of God, be careful. Here we go, guys. See how it works. Oh. Hey, you remember the vice grips we put on? I forgot to take them off. Hey, they did their job. All right, try number 2. There we go. Look at that. It works, guys. So I still got to put the bumps on the end of it like I did on the other side, but the door goes up. Works pretty good. Let's see if it goes down. I think it works pretty dang good. Let's go up with this, see how they both work. I say mission accomplished on the garage doors. So, fortunately, that all went good. Our task with the overhead doors are done. So the next step that we're going to be on to is cleaning up and coating the floors so that we can bring the lift in. And we're going to start making some progress real fast on this shop, guys. And hopefully within the next couple of videos, we're actually using it for projects. So thanks for sticking it out with this overhead garage door install. And I'll see y'all in the next one.